Youghness Monster 2021, everybody. This was the view from my hotel room the night before.
That Chinese rocket, man.
There you just heard somebody make a comment about the Chinese rocket, and I really don't know if that person was talking about the literal Chinese rocket that was about to plummet the Earth the following day, or whether he was referring to all these boats by Stellar and Epic that are made in China and how fast they are. There's my Thunderbolt-X made in America. We had a Nello boat here, and when you see a Nello boat in an inland U.S. race, you know to pay attention because there is a serious paddler somewhere nearby. But the array of boats here was just absolutely amazing. You know, there were some wreck boats too, but a lot of Stellars, a lot of Epics, beautiful boats. Here I stumble upon the Stellar SEA. This was Hansel III's boat, and this boat is absolutely gorgeous, and you can tell by the way I just kind of lingered here and admired it. This boat is just so beautiful. I just love this boat. I'm thinking this might be my next boat. It's just absolutely stunning and eye-popping. It takes a very experienced paddler to paddle this boat, as well as some of the the advanced intermediate and advanced Epic surf skis. You know, I give all the credit in the world to the people who paddled those surf skis this day, because they were horrible conditions, very windy, continuous class 2 rapids, and anybody who kept a surf ski upright was doing something right today. So this was the view from the starting line, the boats. Now here you see me positioning my boat near the water. The way this race works is there's an electronic chip in your number that you put on your life jacket, and there's a mat up on land behind me there that once you cross that starts your time, and then you got to run to your boat. Here I am. I crossed the mat. I'm running to my boat to get in as quickly as I possibly can, put the boat in the water, and I'm just kind of getting ready here. You see me drain my shoes in just a second here, which is kind of laughable now because I thought that little bit of water in my boat would make a difference. I had no idea about the class 2 waves that would be splashing in later, but you know, I'm getting adjusted. I put my thigh braces over my legs here, check my rudder. 3 years ago I paddled here, and as soon as I launched I realized that the cable for my rudder slipped off the rudder, so I had to paddle back into shore to fix that. There I'm shaking my head of cobwebs, and I've got some waves hitting me from the side here, but I'm paddling off. There's a C2 launching right behind me there, and here you see Brian Ammon come in on your camera right. I met him, I think 3 or 4 years ago at the Lehigh Classic race. I've talked to him at races since. One of my favorite paddlers. I love that guy. He was getting adjusted, ready to paddle. I fully expected to see him pass me later that day. Here we are passing through the first set of rapids. I don't know, maybe a quarter mile, half mile downriver of the starting line. I'm very cautious through this set of rapids. It's morning, you know, I'm still feeling a little, let's just say I'm a little nervous about this race because the water was way up. I see this rapid and I'm just trying to go easy and be very, very conservative and cautious to stay upright. That C2 passes me here on my left. And this is about the time I realized what I signed up for, or what I didn't realize I signed up for today. These rapids were big. There were some continuous class 2s. This is what that start looks like from the front of my boat. There's Brian getting set up, ready to launch. And if you look at that sky, that was kind of a motif, or kind of a foreshadowing of the entire day. You know, there was some spots of sun, but a lot of darkness and overcastness. Here I'm catching up to some of the slow wreck paddlers very early in the race. I passed them. Here's that C2 that passed me. And, the sun comes out, things are looking brighter. I'm thinking, okay, this isn't so bad. Forget the cold weather and the rain and all the wind. And I would be remiss if I didn't say there was a strong wind blowing straight up river the whole way to, this day. And sometimes that worked with the rapids to try to push in one direction. Sometimes it was the opposite way. So you had rapids pushing you one way and the wind the opposite way. So it was a very challenging day. Here again, the sun is just teasing us a little bit, making us think that maybe it might turn out to be a nice day. Feeling good, paddling. I'm catching up to some of the other paddlers that, set off, maybe a minute, 2, 3 ahead of me. So I'm still feeling pretty good here. And we'll just watch this play out here for a few seconds. Always feels good to pass boats on a river during a race. And now here you'll see John Dunkelberger come in from my left and pass me. John, I love this guy. I met him, I think, at this race 3 years ago. We surmised that we had paddled at the Y Island Regatta some years before that. I've since encountered him at the Three Rivers, the Pittsburgh Paddle Sports Championship. I consider him a friend. We're, follow each other on Instagram and on Facebook. Great guy. He's going through a set of Class 2 rapids here. He's skirting them to the right, and I'm just following him because, to be honest, I'm in pure survival mode. I'm in my Thunderbolt-X. That boat is 21 feet wide, long and 18 inches wide at its widest point, and it's not a surf ski. So if I flip over, that thing's filling with water. So I'm trying to be as cautious as I possibly can through this Class 2 set of rapids. John is obviously doing the same thing. I think he was in the Stellar S18S surf ski. So I'm kind of following his lead. He's a smart guy, smart paddler. I kind of know the way he thinks and the way he paddles, so I figured, following him is probably a wise idea. Here you see it from a different angle, from a different camera on my boat, where you can see, I'm not paddling here. I'm just bracing. I'm just picking my way through this rapid. I'm just trying to stay upright. I'm just trying to, live to paddle another day. The main rapids here are off to your right, my left, and I was trying to avoid all that. I mean, they were standing Class 2 wave trains, and I didn't want to get mixed up in that this early in the race. The temperature was only about 52 degrees. Very cold. The water was cold. The wind was windy. And, flipping over would have been a very bad thing. Here I am in another set of rapids downstream, again, just in pure survival mode. I was paddling above my pay grade in this race. Had I known the conditions, I would have chosen another boat, but, here I was committed, so I just wanted to stay upright. Here's Stephanie. I caught up to her. I met her 2 weeks prior at the Little D on the Monocacy race. She has since become one of my favorite paddlers. Here you see I'm trying to chat with her, visit with her a little bit, get to know her a little bit more. I'm asking her if she's feeling comfortable, if she's all right. I like to chat with people on the river. It's not all about competing and beating people. I like to meet people and get their stories and understand where they're coming from. Here you see, the later stages of the races. I'm catching up to a few people here. I have no idea where I am standing-wise, but they went far river right. I decided to take a little shortcut and cut this corner. I saw some flat water off to the left that's going to favor me and my style of paddling in my boat, and I thought I could gain some time on them, and this little maneuver actually worked much better than I thought it would, because I caught up to this little pack here, and I think this was like your 5th place finisher in front of me here, and I had no idea that the time between like the 3rd, 4th, and 5th place paddler would be just minutes. Because we're chip timed, you don't really know exactly where you stand. I was just trying to paddle my best race here. And then you see I slowly catch up to John Dunkelberger again. We joked at the starting line. He had a Bluetooth speaker playing music and some kind of MP3 player, and I heard country music, and I said, hey, do you have any Hank Sr. on that thing? And he said, yeah, I do. As a matter of fact, 5 songs. And it was about this point I heard some Hank Williams music playing, and I was just trying to catch up to the music, to be honest with you, because I knew exactly who it was. and I never thought I would see him again after he passed me. But, you know, I caught up to him. He was slowing down. I think he was a little bit fatigued, and on Facebook we went back and forth afterwards, and he said, yeah, you know, he kind of lost track of where he was in the race, but here you see him, he's paddling in, and I paddle up next to him, and we're talking, we're chatting. I think I'm actually singing Hank Williams right along with him. And I think it knocked him out of a little bit of a lull. He sped up, and I was like, John, you know, I'm going to pick up a little bit, and he said, I will too, and very, like, within a second or two, I realized, you know, he had enough gas in the tank. We were pretty evenly matched, and I'm like, okay, my ego's not so big that I'm going to paddle in front of you. You know, let's just cross the finish line together. This is maybe the last mile. And we're chatting, we're visiting, you know, this was just a few minutes to really get caught up with him and really, you know, talk and just have some friendly conversation. And I love doing this. 3 years ago, I did this with Ed Leshik, and I just thoroughly enjoyed meeting him. And this is a great way to meet people on the river. Here you see the two of us coming across the finish line together. I apologize for the video, but I can only work with what other people give me. But this was awesome. I just felt really good crossing the line with him. And then there you see me turning off my GPS. There's Ed. I love that guy. He's one of my favorite paddlers. Best part of the weekend was spending Mother's Day with my mother. There's Mom and Dad. It was great to get back and be able to spend a day with them. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. I love you. There's my sister Lynn, who met me at the takeout and shuttled me. And here you have my final thoughts. The Youghness Monster Race 2021. It was kind of a weird day today. So the water was way up. They said if it was a foot higher, they would have found an alternate plan because it would have been too high. The Class 2 rapids were running as continuous Class 2s, and that combined with the wind and the cold weather made you really not want to flip there. I was paddling my Thunderbolt-X, and boy, I'll tell you, it was white knuckle through those rapids. I just did what I had to do to stay alive and not flip. So a lot of the rapids, I just braced through them and took it easy, just wanted to stay upright. And then when we got to the second half of the race, there were gusts of wind that literally would hit you like a wall and almost stop your forward progress down the river. So it was a beast. It was cold and overcast when we started. It was rainy. I caught a few drops during the race. And then after we got out at the finish line, within 5 minutes, not only did it start to rain again, there was also some snow and some sleet. So they were horrible conditions today. But I lived to paddle another day. It was a lot of fun, even though I feel like I paddled well above my skill level and I just survived it. I did place, I think, amongst men. I came in 9th overall in my division, which I'm not sure I was in the right division. I did all right, so I was happy with that. So that's one in the books. I hope the video on the boats came out okay. Until next time, love this sport. Take what it has to give you and pay it forward.